Hello, it's me again. I found an interesting topic to cover for today, and it keeps in theme with this whole AI thing that I've been on recently. You, at some point or another, may have seen an advertisement for a software known as Dungeon Alchemist. I saw the advertisement on YouTube, and it caught my interest. It is a software developed and published by Briganti that you can purchase on Steam, and it is described as an AI-powered fantasy map-making software that enables you to make awesome-looking maps really fast. It is in early access, but they say themselves that they're confident that what they have available right now is a satisfying experience. And this is their words. And having used it for quite some time myself, quite some time being about 3 hours or so, I can say with confidence that yes, what they currently have is quite the value for the price that they're asking for. Its primary function is supposed to be for Dungeons and Dragons, and I'll go into a little bit more of that later on. But before we do, I'd like to take you on a tour of what I've been able to create so far. Far from the reaches of civilization, in the secluded Thane Woods, there are many dangers. Owl harpies and goblins, for example. But if you manage to overcome them, and make it to the far, far reaches of the woods, you might stumble across Thanewood Manor. Thanks to Dungeon Alchemist, I've been able to generate what you see before you. A lot of this is automated, of course, but some things and everything are able to be altered and moved by you. So if you don't like the way that something's been placed automatically, you can manually move it yourself. You can also import your own images and 3D models using their software. The throne and the treasure chests on either sides of it, placed by me, as well as the carpet. I let them place the lights by themselves, but from the main hall, you have the guest wing. Guests can enjoy a double bed, canopied, and have access to their own dresser. Just because we're outside of civilization doesn't mean that we have to live like it. And it is a little bit cramped, but you'll have to make do. The guest rooms are equipped with a toilet, room, storage, bed, and toilet. There are 2 guest rooms. And this has a toilet as well. Through the other wing, we have some more features of the manor itself. To the right of the hallway, you have the kitchen. This is where meals are prepped. Behind that, the servants' quarters. They're able to rest and relax here when in their off time. Across from the kitchen, you have the dining area. This is where meals are had, usually by myself, but when guests are here, they may join me at this table. Servants are also welcome to use this to eat, so long as they clean their mess, and they always do. Further down the hall, you will find the living quarters. This is where you're able to relax and spend some time. A small table here decorated with the arm of a titan, as I'm able to understand it. You may enjoy some painting or simply enjoy the view of the backyard. Room for a fireplace and plenty of covered storage. Well-lit room with candles and a clock to watch the time. At the very end of the hall, you'll find my bedroom, the master bedroom. Currently, it's kept relatively simple. A dressing table, brush, comb, perfumes, and other things. I have my own storage, as well as wardrobe and dresser. I also have the master bathroom, fully equipped with a tub for cleaning, and bathroom as well. To the right of that, I have my own personal study. This is where I get my work done. Very calm, very tranquil. I can get my reading done, work on my projects, practice my magic if I need to. In this room as well, I have a secret passageway into the bathroom if I'm working and can't be bothered to go the long way. Very convenient for me, so I can just go straight from my desk through the secret passage into the bathroom. Or even into the bath if I need it, in case I get one of these nasty chemicals on me. If you go in through the kitchen, there's actually a back exit. The yard needs to be trimmed a little bit, but we have our own greenhouse for growing fruits, vegetables, and whatever else we happen to feel like. Staff is free to come in here and take the necessary materials that they need for cooking, and I can come here and get things for my potions or whatever else I happen to be working on. If it can be grown, it grows here, and it can be gathered from here, harvested. And there you have it. That's pretty much all that there is to show for Fanewood Manor. I do want to make some changes and adjustments here and there. It's not quite perfect, but for just a test, a proof of concept, I think it came out very, very nice. I'm a big fan of it. To give you a bit of an idea of what the actual tools themselves look like, when you're in edit mode, you can get a good view of what you're working on. In order to generate a new room, you basically click Draw Room, select from a list of available settings here, and then drag a space out, click the button. We've generated a crypt hallway, and there you have it. You can undo what you've just generated or regenerate it if you want something a little bit different. So, for example, let's do a castle armory. We won't leave it there, of course, I'm just showing it off. Give it some time to work. And here you have it. Suits of armor, racks of weapons, castle walls. You can also go into fine detail by placing objects. They're categorized from various things on the side here. Storage, furniture, utility. And then it's as simple as selecting what you'd like and placing it. You can adjust its orientation, resize it, all of that. I imagine that if you enjoy The Sims, you're kind of familiar with this idea. Certain items are able to be activated or used, such as the doors, the chests, and many other items. You can also import customly made items from the Steam Workshop, as well as importing your own 3D assets. Once you have a map that you are happy with, you can go into the file and hit export. Exporting the map, you can choose the format: Foundry export, Fantasy Grounds Unity export, Roll20 export, Above VTT, Universal VTT, Image, Print, or Video export. Now these different formats affect the size and the quality of what you're going to be exporting to. Roll20 and Fantasy Grounds, I believe, are specifically for maps that are used in Dungeons and Dragons. You can also choose the perspective, the image quality, the export size, and the color scheme, as well as stuff like transparency. Once you have all of that set, you can hit the export button. Now, I've never used Fantasy Grounds or Roll20, so I'm not entirely sure how those work. I'll have to look into them a little bit. From this top-down view, you're able to change from 2D flat to raised 3D, and then your isometric appearance. In order to go into the first-person mode, which I use to showcase, you just place a token, and then select the eyeball here, and you'll go into your first-person mode, where you'll be free to explore the map that you just got done creating. Through the Steam Workshop menu, you're able to publish your own map, or browse maps that others have published. You're free to use those for your own Dungeons & Dragons campaigns, or edit them as you see fit. You can also take a look at your own assets, take a look at the assets that you're subscribed to, and browse what's available. From buildings to placeable items, animals, and more. All of that being said, I think that this is going to make a very, very popular toolkit for people who are very passionate about Dungeons & Dragons and want to build their own campaigns. And I can't help but feel, though, like they would be really, really foolish to not add a way to export the entire map as a 3D object to be used in something like Unity or some other game engine for game development. I mean, they've pretty much done all of the work, all of the textures, the lighting, materials, it's all here and it's all there. So that would just add more versatility to the tool set, and I think people would very much enjoy it. So for a little bit of background context, this whole idea kind of stemmed from me a long time ago wanting to do Dungeons & Dragons with a group of VTubers. I say that, but honestly, it's more like something similar to Dungeons & Dragons. Better to just call it a tabletop experience. The reason I go into detail on that is because I find Dungeons & Dragons to be really stifling. A lot of people always do their campaigns the exact same way, and I get that it's supposed to be based off of like preset rules, but it kind of just stifles the creativity, in my opinion. And I thought that a great way to get out of that would be to use all of the uniqueness that comes from various VTubers. That came with its own set of problems, though, because not only was it hard to organize something, as well as come up with a comprehensive story, it was also hard to find tools. I mean, yeah, I did look into Tabletop Simulator, and there are some really interesting things that you can do with that, but everyone needs to own Tabletop Simulator. And it's like, it varies in price depending on if you can catch it on sale. And it just didn't make sense logistically to make happen, so I eventually ended up scrapping it. But I always kept the desire to make my own dungeon experience for other people to go through. Some sort of adventure tailored by me because I like to tell stories. So when I saw the advertisement for this on YouTube, it seemed like the perfect answer to one of the major problems that my idea had. And that was a sort of level editor that you could use to create things and export them so that you could use them somewhere else. Now, even though I'm not familiar with any of the places that you can export this stuff to, just to know that it's possible is very, very convenient. Now, as far as me being able to actually use this, I don't know what I can use this particular thing for, personally. But now that I have it, if something or an opportunity does rise from it, then I'll already have what I need. I do intend to use this regardless, and I'll probably do so in the form of some sort of storytelling. Hopefully it's interesting enough to not bore you all to death, but we shall see. I'm confident that I can do it though, and it's fun to create different things and create the backstory and reasoning behind the placement of each and every little detail that you can see. So let me know what you think of this down in the comments below, and as always, thank you very much for watching. I will see you all later.